it live from Random Secret Studios in Philadelphia and throughout the Delaware Valley.
I'm the Capo. He's the Prez.
And this is Sons of Ben. The Pod. Holy Moses, everybody. Happy New Year. It has been a bit of a minute or two, but we are back with Adam. I'm trying to redeem ourselves. We are back with episode number, another tight end, Brett Selleck.
Look, after the egregiousness of forgetting Super Bowl champion Zach Ertz, you definitely had to do a good makeup call. So I believe Brett Selleck was also on that Eagles Super Bowl team, so you could live for another day.
Well, I think he was on the Super Bowl team with T.O. I don't think he was on that other, I don't know. Who knows anymore?
No, don't do this,
remember.
Matthew. Don't date yourself like that, because I'm almost certain. That man was Chad Lewis or L.J. Smith, I think is what you're thinking of. But anyway,
that could be it too. Could be it. So yeah, we got Brett Selleck on this one, and we're back, and we're probably rustier than anything because it's been a while, and I think I know myself. I can speak for Devin. I think the board and probably even Adam. We've all been a little burnt out after the season and and the way the season ended. So we were like, we need a little bit of time to lick our wounds.
Real quick, I just want to show that I have a photo that I'm showing the audience, and by the audience I mean Devin and Matt. That is Brett Selleck with the Super Bowl. Anyway, continue.
Perfect. Hey, at least I didn't confuse John Dorenbos, you know.
No, speaking of that, from my standpoint, I've pretty much taken 2 weeks off of everything Philadelphia Union related, and just kind of enjoyed the holidays a little bit. And you got to reset the battery sometimes and get ready for next season because it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and we personally on my end, we've had a litany of friends and family all test positive for COVID, so it was like, oh, avoid you, hang out with you, don't. And I kept getting negative tests, so. Probably we've probably spent like a couple $100 on these rapid tests that aren't worth a crap. So that's been the holiday season. So I think I'm looking forward to the 2022 Union season. And speaking of that, Devin, Adam, don't forget, man, the beer of the pod, Yards, 2SP, support those that support us. I'm living proof. If I was negative after all this stuff, it's got to be the beer that keeps the COVID away.
I'm 80% sure me and Matt are the last two people in Philadelphia to not have Corona, because I was setting up so many fun activities with all of my friends over the course of the holiday, and it was just boom, 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 boom. Like all of them were like, yeah, so I got it from this. Or I decided, like this felt like a dystopian movie where I'm like hiding in a bunker. I'm like, I will be the last survivor of this pandemic. It'll be me versus the universe.
I kind of felt like my mom did when I was a little kid and trying to like make you get chicken pox when you're a kid. Like, oh, get infected. And it just wouldn't take. So
one of us.
Yeah, it is one of us, but it is what it is. So little SOB news for everybody. Remember to renew. We don't auto renew. So make sure you renew your membership. And Devin, did you notice, or did Adam notice, the election results are in? Adam, you were thwarted. Devin won by a landslide.
You know, sometimes you try hard, you campaign as hard as you can, and then other times someone likes Devin for reasons I can't understand. So, I mean, look, it happens.
I'm glad I could beat Adam in another election here. Well, I guess I can't even say another election. He beat me the first time. So I'm glad I could at least tie. We're 1-1 now. We'll do it best of 3 next time. We'll figure it out.
You're like the Bob Dole of elections. I'm loving this right now.
Bob Dole. So yeah, we've got Devin is back, Jess is back, and we've got Trace new people. We've got Mike Blankmeyer handling travel. We've got Blake Kettleberg, Mr. Drummer, is going to be your membership director. So if you don't get your stuff, talk to Kettle Chips. And then Adam, we got another one of your guys. Eric Justino, man, is handling the philanthropy. So yeah, we've got a strong crew. I'm pretty happy with the board. I think this is one of the stronger boards we've had in a while, and I'm excited. I think we're all getting excited. And you know what, Devin, we're really excited about? It's Q1 of 2022, and that means we should be hearing from FIFA about www.philadelphia2026.com, and we can get the countdown clock on after that. We'll have the 4-year countdown clock going on as long as we win that bid for the World Cup coming to Philly. You know, you're
First, I
excited,
want to
Devin.
shout out the most diverse union board of all time. Because like the Puerto Rican power on that board is strong. I'm here for all of that. But second, I'm also here for
Kettleberg isn't Puerto Rican. He's Irish, I think.
Yeah, that's the one. That's exactly how I was referred to Kettleberg. No, like, yeah, man, you know, Irish is diverse. It's just different diversity. But, listen, it is diversity.
Between him and Jess, we got more gingers than anyone, so we're good.
Is Jess natural? We'll talk about that later. Anyway,
touching that one.
So we have legitimately a moment now that we are transitioning into with this new board that I love, and then I love the direction as a whole we're all going with, because I think that this group is pushing itself into the new era of this Union Sons of Ben 3.0 that I was hoping to bring about. So this is good. I'm happy.
And it's the beginning of our 15-year anniversary, so it's only taken us 15 years to. No, just kidding. I do want to say one thing. I forgot. We went through a litany the last pod of like thanking people, and I completely forgot to thank Mark Evans. So I want to thank Mark Evans because he is our liaison to the front office, and my man probably puts up with more shit than anybody between front office asking us for stuff, us battling back and forth. I don't know how the guy doesn't have gray hair and is still working this job, but I did want to do a special thank out to Mark because, we're going to do a little season in review. Guys, what we talked about a little bit, but have you had time to sit back and think about this past season, the whole 2021 and everything that happened? Because I keep going, oh, that happened. Oh, that happened. I mean, it was pretty mind-blowing. And the weirdest thing about it, I didn't see Adam on one billboard this year.
First off, act like I'm still not mad about that. I got accustomed to seeing my face on major highways, and then we stopped doing this all of a sudden. But I think, look, it was probably the greatest season that didn't end in actual physical hardware that had the most anticlimactic ending of all time. Like, the way that season ended took so much out of my sails. Like, I would have rather a full squad Union get its ass kicked than what happened during the Eastern Conference Finals, because I can take solace in the first one as opposed to the second one. I am forever going to be playing the what if machine with this team, and I don't like that. That's that's a sour taste in my mouth that I don't want to have because of the beauty that was the season otherwise.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it, and then everybody always wants to remind you. I got emails from sponsors. I'm just trying to think. We just lost. That's it. We lost the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm just trying to think of that. This stings the way the Tampa Bay loss stung, because back in the day, if the Eagles beat Tampa Bay, they were going to win the Super Bowl.
Matthew, you have to date this reference right, because I'm not sure everyone remembers Joe Jaravicious as easily as you do.
Do you remember one of the Barber brothers, Rondé Barber? I think he's still running from intercepting Donovan McNabb on that one.
Look, someone randomly brought up the 2003 NFC Championship game the other day, and I was just like, why do y'all like pain this much, Philadelphia? Y'all are just like, remember when my heart was just ripped out of me? Like, way too often do you do that?
That's the closest. I mean, besides that, and if you really want to date yourself, in I think it was 01, the Sixers, they should have won game number 2 in LA.
Okay, yeah.
It's that stinging. So I'm just trying to go.
The Sixers should be very happy that they got a game in 2001.
That's when I had season tickets. I was glued to that, and they could have, and all the injuries if those guys weren't injured. So that's where my mind goes with that Eastern Conference Championship, and I'm just trying to forget about it. Just trying to be like,
I'm gonna help you guys. Exactly. I'm gonna help Matt. I'll help you transition here, because we got to forget about what happened there and just remember everything else, because the entire season was just obviously one of the greatest seasons that we've ever had, and to be able to experience it the way we were all able to experience it up close, and like to have it happen at Subaru Park for the amount of large games that happened at the stadium this year was so awesome.
Even just seeing how the team was playing, where, oh my God, they're playing great in CONCACAF, but regular season's not looking good. Oh no. And then right after CONCACAF is done, they kick it into high gear, and you're like, oh my God, this is it. So, and then
they were down towards the bottom of the table. When they were still in CONCACAF. I mean,
you were wondering if they were making the 8th seed, the 7th seed. You're like, So no, this was a great season on and off the field. We talked about it last pod, but just like the tailgates where it's like, oh, Ernst is going to come to a toast. Oh, Jay and Richard and all the other owners are going to pour beer. Oh, guess who's going to walk in and say hi too? Just a future NBA Hall of Fame part owner. The most handsome owner in all of MLS. So suck it, there, Matthew McConaughey. It's not you. The most athletic owner in MLS, not Russell Wilson, Kevin Durant.
For sure.
It might be Steve Nash.
No,
it might be Steve Nash.
Nah.
2-time MVP. The dude plays soccer almost as well as he plays basketball. He's pretty handsome. I ain't gonna lie. He's got that rugged, Canadian.
You don't want us to get Kevin Durant on this pod, do you?
First off, can I tell you about no? Because here's the problem. He keeps trying to fight Joel Embiid every 5 minutes. I'm not sure he's coming to Philadelphia anytime soon.
Well, we're gonna trade Ben Simmons for his running mate James Harden.
Yeah, oh my God, no! Just give me Jaylen Brown from the Celtics and we can move on.
Yeah, so that's Sixers talk. But anyhow, no, we had a hell of a year. I just wanted to again thank everybody for being a part of it, and let's just get into a little bit what to expect in 2022. My God, the schedule came out. We've got road trips. We've already booked the trip for Nashville. So May 1st, save the date. We've already got hotels reserved, and Vince from Philly Sports Trips is working on that. Mike Blankenmeyer's already put a poll out to see what else everybody are interested in, because there's Portland, there's LA, there's Cincinnati in the new stadium we haven't been to. There's Columbus in their new stadium that we haven't gotten to. So there's a lot of different trips. So get active. Let us know what you're looking forward to, what works the schedules, but we're going to have a bunch of trips. Devin and I have been talking tailgates, and it's going to get bigger and better with, there's probably some more sponsors, some more beverage options, more marching options.
We're bringing on some more hands for help, and that always helps as well. Like just all around being able to just do more,
I mean, even for the home opener, I bought heaters already. So we've got heaters to put in the thing that you can't find anymore. We've got propane heaters to torch that thing up. I mean, we are getting ready for this thing, and it's just crazy.
That's for sure the match I was like, I'm going to call out sick for this one.
Yeah,
I might have to miss the home opener this year because that might be a bit much.
Little Under Armour, you'll be fine. A little hot toddy. A little hot
I'm
toddy.
going to look like an Inuit from the Northwestern Territories. It's going to be terrible.
So here's a good question for you guys. Last offseason or this offseason, which offseason had the most buzz going into the season and had the most hype going into it? You think we're there here right now?
No,
or
last
season?
Well, last
season we had a
worried.
Champions League. We had things to look for. We have the what was that? What's the second rate league we're doing this year? The Leagues Cup, the Europa of America, basically. We're doing the Leagues Cup. That's cute. But we had Champions League. We were about to send these guys to Costa Rica. We were about to debut the new kit. Last offseason, firecrackers. This offseason, I don't. Well, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I have expectations. But last offseason was a bubbles.
Last offseason, we had Champions League to look forward to, but we were like, oh, we sold Brendan, we sold Mark. Oh, Ray just retired, and we'll get to that later. Don't start on that. Warren retired. Everybody's gone, and we didn't have anybody replace, and all we had was homegrown signings. This offseason, and we'll talk about this later, we did get a signing. We know they're looking, but it's hard because, one, we were so burnt out for 2-3 weeks, and now the season starts in a month. We're 5 weeks? 6 weeks away?
Yeah, it's close. It's close.
Yeah. So this is a quick off season that I think it's just going to come up and punch us in the face.
We had to have that dumbass World Cup in Qatar, but that's another conversation for another day. Let's have a World Cup in November, because if we did it in June, we would kill half of the athletes. But it's okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got other stuff. We've got cleanups planned. We've got some other off the field things. We're thinking about doing some other events. We are in the process of planning Help Kick Hunger. We were going to try to do it in mid-January, and then just things got crazy, and the Eagles being in the playoffs kind of ruined the venues because we didn't know if we could get a dedicated venue just for us, because everybody's like, well, the Eagles might be playing that Saturday. They might be playing that Sunday. So we're going to move it into February before the season starts. So it's going to be the pre-pep rally of our season. Will be Help Kick Hunger and our 15th year anniversary party. And speaking of events, unofficially, our buddy, member, your fave trash man, Terrell, is going to be doing a cleanup on January 17th for the Mlk Day of Service. I'm just mentioning it because we're going to blast it out. Hope Volunteer's going to come out to help out clean up. He's going to have a happy hour afterwards. And I'm calling it preseason training for Adam, because Adam gets to test some of that Under Armour, get out in the streets, move around a little bit in the cold weather and be ready. So this is the capo all season training. It's like Rocky when he was in Russia training. That's what we're going to do for Adam.
And we're going to need a montage. Ooh, a montage. No, like,
80s beatbox for you, man. Yeah, we'll do it.
Here's the thing, Matt. I was born in the woods. You know,
where were you born? I thought you were born in media.
Broomall. No, legitimately, I'm cold weather ready as long as I'm not standing. Like, I'm snowboarding, playing some soccer out here, you know, playing some lacrosse, hockey. Got you. But it's when I'm standing still is when the stuff becomes a little bit treacherous for me. You know, there's only so much I can do.
I've got a call to one Mr. Tim McDermott about getting snowblowers on the stairs around 137. So you can snowboard up and down those stairs while capoing.
No, I want the ice picks for when I'm climbing those stairs to get to the top to try to get people to chant. And then I can have my snowshoes on my gentle glides back down to the capo stand. Yeah.
The snowboarding might happen. The ice picks aren't. I can tell you that right now.
By the way, we need to talk to them about getting my go-go cages back. I need someplace to put Rich Ransom when I need him.
Well, we will work on that, but that is all COVID specific. And I guess, Devin, we got to get into this. We've got to announce, and we're late on this announcement. We should have broken the news beforehand, but someone is doing esports for the union, and that is one Mr. Adam Booth. Adam, do you want to tell everybody about your new role with esports, and then I can give, like, you know, when the president does his State of the Union speech, and then the opposing party, I will then give the Sons of Ben view about Adam's new role.
I'm really happy you're excited to be like, what is his name? Not Rand Paul. What was the other one from Wisconsin who was terrible? That guy. Paul Ryan. Yeah, you want to be Paul Ryan in 2012. I'm excited about
this. Is also like a parent who's told their child their whole life, like, you can't play video games. You're never going to get a job playing video games.
Do you understand how much I'm stunting on my parents right now? Like, I am doing pirouettes on both of my parents right now. They got not a thing to say to me. They're just like, you know what?
I got two words. I got 2 words for your parents as a comeback for you. W9. They'll be like, show me your W9.
First off, that's rude. Second, no, it's legitimately something that I'm really excited about. As you know, because I'm enforcing the Fusion Minute into these podcasts for the better part of them. I am a big person who's into video games. I finished college at St. Joe's with writing a paper saying that I believed that video games are going to be the next great storytelling medium, you know, and I still believe that. And I'm really, really excited to not only work in video games, but help possibly make it more mainstream to a lot of people who didn't really think about where it has come to at this point. I know a lot of people are still thinking about, you know, video games, like they might not still think Pac-Man, but they might be like Tomb Raider on PlayStation 1. You know, they still think the polygons are all over the place. And I'm saying it is a golden age for the digital medium, and to be helping the union do their esports, you know, work with Serge, who I've had the pleasure of meeting, and he's a great guy. Really enjoy him. You know, I'm happy to put on a show. I'm happy to be working with these people. And more importantly, they give me access to PlayStation 5s. And that's really what I'm here for more than anything. Do I get to take one home? Absolutely not. But I get access to one, and that's nice.
All right. The opposing view. You ready for this, Devin? No. the Sons of Ben think video games suck and they're a waste of time. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
First off, half of your board are video game enthusiasts, so you may need to address that.
We've got to fix the board. Trust me. We'll work on that. We'll work on reform from the inside. We are more than thrilled for Adam and this opportunity. We're proud of him. We're happy to see any of our members have their dreams come true. But with it comes the complication because, of course, social media and Twitterverse was like, oh, is the capo getting paid by the team? No, listen, the capos are volunteers anyhow. So it really doesn't affect one thing or the other. The only thing it really affects is because Adam's been head capo, the board has trusted Adam to be able to go to the media and talk to the media on behalf of the Sons of Ben. The only thing that changes now is if Adam's going to talk to the media on behalf of the Sons of Ben, a board member will be with him. That's pretty much it. That's the only difference because the board is really the only body that can speak for the group. That's really the only difference. We're probably bigger fans of this move than even Adam, probably bigger fans of this move than Adam's family. We're more supportive of that because, as you said, a lot of our board members are into this garbage. I mean, this wonderful experience. So I'm excited.
You just made Jess my babysitter, so.
Exactly. I better than me. I'm excited to actually come to some of these events. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing a crossover of having Serge get out of the mom's basement and come to a tailgate, and have him interact with human beings on a one-on-one, thing. So Lord. I'm waiting for the whole crossover.
Boo! Jalen Reagor against the Giants. Boo!
Let me find the sound effects on this pretend.
All right, I'm gonna say this right now, Devin. This is 87 episodes and we don't have a soundboard yet. Like, come on, man. We need to be stepping our game up a little bit. Like, we have no merch. We don't even got a sticker. Like, I got 14 podcast stickers.
Listen,
none
Adam,
of them are mine.
I hereby on this pod anoint you the pod merch guy. That's all you.
Devin, I just got a new job. I got no time for this. Did we not just discuss this 45 seconds prior?
Can't you steal some stickers for the EMLS, slap some Sons of Ben logos on it, and then we're good? Synergy.
So, yes, I'm going to steal some stickers and then do graphic design upon said stickers and then redistribute them. You definitely got that down.
You just get a Sharpie and put Sons of Ben the Pod rocks,
My calligraphy needs a little work. I ain't going to lie to you.
Just get some Post-it notes. Same thing.
I'm here for that, though. It was just coming like slapping Post-it notes on people's cars. Sons of Ben the Pod, listen.
Well, we should be all right. But anywho, so we are, Adam, congratulations. We're thrilled for you. And I guess, Devin, should we move on from this excitement and get right to the union news?
I guess we're 20 minutes in. I guess we got to get into the union news at some point.
Wait, we were going to do a makeshift fusion minute after that? Oh, no. Okay.
Trying not to. So I don't have it up, but guess what? The union signed a striker, guys. Did you see the exciting news? And then the agony of reading about it on Twitter afterwards?
Look, I love our fans. I'm gonna take the Tobias Harris approach here. I love our fans. Sometimes we disagree, but overall, it's all love. They got my back. I got their back. It's all good. We could be happy. It's an option. I know it's not something that we're used to, but like some things are good. Here's the thing, and this is my number one thing with sports is I think the number one thing in sports that we're lacking most of the time, especially nowadays when box scores are really more important than the games half the time, it's context. We lack context in a lot of moments. And what I mean by that is in this moment, if you have the context on why he is here on a loan from Miami, then you actually believe, hey, this might be a pretty decent, good signing. The man came here on a $6 million transfer.
At 19 years old.
At 19 years old. To come to Fort Lauderdale Football Club. And one of the more dysfunctional things I've ever seen in terms of MLS play. This is the David Beckham baby that was slow cooked for almost 15 years. And by the time it came to its fruition, it still had so many issues with it. Oversigning DPs, maxing out the contracts and everything in between. This gentleman, who admittedly did not score a lot when the opportunity was presented to him, is a casualty of circumstance and mishap. And I believe a stable organization like the Philadelphia Union, which honestly is a weird sentence to come out of my mouth, can bring him and bring the best out of him and lead him to be the individual that a lot of other people were hoping him to be.
Here's another thing, and I'll just to build on your point. He's been in MLS for 2 years. He's on the same schedule. He knows what the league is like. It's not like we've got to wait that half a year for him to get used to or get into game shape. Now, to peel back the curtain a little bit, as we know, we have a little access to owners and Ernst and coaching staff. The Union were high on this guy at 19. The reason the Union didn't make a move was because Miami said, we'll give you $6 million. The Union aren't giving $6 million for anybody right now, let alone a 19-year-old. But they were in that mix of trying to bring him over. So Ernst liked him a lot, wanted to get him, but wasn't going to overpay for him. Here's another thing. He's got a green card. He's not an international slot. We gave up a second-round pick in the MLS draft. I don't remember the last time we used a pick in the MLS draft. So for people to complain about this is you're not really looking at this, and they're not done. I know that they're still looking for players. It's the January transfer window. It's just happening all over the place. So they're not done. I think it's a smart signing, and even if it just lights a fire under the ass of a Sergio or a Corey, that's worth it alone. Or maybe he's that perfect fit to help out Casper. Who knows? But the guy has a pedigree, has talent. So I'm excited for it. And it looks like he, you know what his number was in Miami, Adam?
What was it?
21.
Huh?
And you know whose number was 21 on the Union?
Maurice Adu.
No. Font.
I mean, yes.
Font's going to Italy. Did you see that?
The most predictable thing on the planet Earth. If you have any remote insider knowledge, it was the most predictable thing on the planet Earth.
I'm upset because it was a free transfer. I wish he would have signed the contract and we got something for him. But I love the way that it got leaked. Good old TikTok.
Look, man, this is 2022. This is how this goes now. If you ever hear a transfer rumor, look at someone's Instagram. And then you'll get more information. No, that's what we're looking at. Girlfriend's Instagram. Like, this is the era of you just getting all your information from Adrian Wojnarowski is gone. All right. You can be your own detective. You can get your own rumors searched for and found out in the modern era. Union fans, we're probably better detectives than anyone working for the Philadelphia Police Department right now. Oh, yeah. We could solve every crime going on right now. That's how investigative we are.
It cracked me up because a guest on the pod, Jamie Lynch Jr., that's on 97.5, The Fanatic, The Morning Show, he's been famously trolled by his coworkers because he follows every NBA or any Philadelphia athlete's wife or girlfriend on Instagram. And they're like, you're a creeper. Why are you doing that? He goes, that's where you get all the news. That's where you find out they're on vacation or they're there. Because the girlfriends and the wives leak everything. They put it on all. And we find out Font's definitely going to Italy in 2 days because she puts it on TikTok.
You got to believe it, though. I'm cynical by nature. So I'm always just like, oh, how did this happen? It seems too perfectly placed that she just said he's going to Italy in 2 days. Not that my boyfriend's leaving, but specifically where he was going 2 days later.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not that guy, but my ear went up. Well, I was just like, that seems a little too perfectly placed. This, because it's just look, anyone who pays attention to this team noticed about a third through the season, Anthony Fontana just disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
He was on the roster. And they were like, oh, he's hurt. He's got this. And then he just didn't come back. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't believe him not coming back was justified unless there was something about don't get yourself hurt before we ship you the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Union suffered from offensive issues in the latter part of the season, and Anthony Fontana, if statistically, was a goal machine. For the amount of minutes he played, to the amount of goals he produced, it was one of the higher outputs in the league. So you're not playing him. There's a reason for that. Did he go super diva? Maybe. Did he go in a direction where we don't understand why? But it's like, I'm just sitting over here being like...
To be fair, real quick, so you don't go too far off the rails here. His contract was up. It was the end of his contract. But also, he was like in the concussion protocol and in and out of it, and, like going through some of that stuff. And that
for
stuff
how
can
long,
sometimes linger, and you know how concussions go.
Chris Pronger, know it well.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times. I mean, Eric Lindros' entire career. However, he played at the end of the season, right? When we had to do the 10-day hardship contract at the end of the season, he played, right?
By that point, he's not in form. It's the end of the season. It's like, what do you know?
But you were lacking Corey Burke for 5 weeks. You were lacking Sergio Santos. There was times when you were only playing Kasper Shabilko and Gazdag up top. And Gazdag is great, but I'm saying the more natural striker there. Look,
well,
I don't know enough to know why. I'm just saying if I'm manager controlling FIFA, Fontana's making the 18 a couple of times down the stretch. I think when
we had Tommy Wilson on, he said it best. He goes, Fontana's not a great scorer, but he scores great goals.
Fair?
Yeah.
Who's the great scorer on the Union right now? Who's our great scorer?
Paxton Aronson.
Probably. I mean, next year, honestly, I think if you wanted to put down any early predictions about next season, Paxton Aronson, I think, is about to go off.
Oh yeah,
I think
he. I mean, not to put any expectations on the kid or anything, but like I think he has that Brendan Aronson breakout season next season.
Oh yeah.
Him, McGlynn, and Sullivan. That's going to be interesting because there's no way you're going to be able to keep all three of those gentlemen. But if you were to grow with the core of those three in your midfield, holy shnikes.
Listen,
that would be incredible.
I think Nate might be like a team leader in assists. You know, I mean, when you're talking about the fourth youngin that's playing to have an impact, I mean, that could happen. Speaking of Union news and transfers, Kai Wagner goes nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere.
Adam texted me because we saw he was like, what was it? Shaka. And then Adam reached into his bag of media contacts and found out that no transfer. He was just there for, using the medical facilities, and that was it. I think it's going to be hard for Kai to go anywhere in a top 4 league right now because Europe is crying poor.
Italy selling the whole thing.
Yeah, so I think if Kai moves, it's going to be in middle of our season. I think we're safe for this, and I think he understands it. And because listen, could Ernst sell him to somebody in Bundesliga C or 2 or what? But is that a good move for him? Except he's moving back to Europe. That's the only. It's not a move up. Not now. Not the way that MLS is. So I think he knows that. And let's face it, he gets another playoff push, another All-Star game, his value just goes up. Yeah. So I think he understands that too. So I think
my question to you, and this question was posed, I forget how this came out. No, I do. It was the Daryl DK move by Orlando, him signing with West Brom. And the argument came, the championship's better than MLS, right?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Is it better than Liga MX?
Yes.
Are you sure about that sentence?
I don't know.
I think if you're, let's say,
like Fulham. You take Fulham obviously is better than everything else. But if we're talking about what are we talking now?
I think there is
Charlton City.
There's a big difference between the top 10 teams in the championship and the bottom 10 teams in the championship.
See, I think it's a big difference between the top 5.
Yes, the top 5, because the top 5 teams in the championship could be Premier League teams.
The champion, but not great Premier Leagues.
No,
The
not
championship-
great.
No,
But no Liga MX team is competing with any Premier League team.
No, of course, but
Ooh.
none of them are competing. Like, do we look at the bottom of the table? None of them are
Hold
competing
on.
with
Let's
the
not say
Premier
any.
League.
Let's say top 15 Premier League teams.
Look, so you say to me that if you put Club America over the Premier League, they wouldn't do better than Norwich?
Yeah, they would.
No, I think they would do better than Norwich. I don't think they'd do better than anybody.
They might do better than Tottenham.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, that's a joke, but still.
Woof.
No, look, here's the thing. So I saw a chart that came out, and it was the FIFA index between Liga MX and the championship. And only Fulham was ahead of Tigres, America, Monterrey, Cruz Azul. The top 5 clubs in Mexico were better than every club in the championship but Fulham, according to the FIFA index.
Yeah, I guess let me roll that back. Let me roll my findings back a little bit because okay, those top teams in Mexico could probably compete in the championship.
So what I'm saying is, at this point, because look, like, yes, Mexico still has a gap against MLS, but the gap is closing.
Oh.
And I'm saying right
Every
now,
year, it's
getting, now look at, again, still, we went to the Champions League final, or in Champions League semis, we got our butts kicked. It's still a gap. I'm not saying that there's not, but what I'm saying is now, and the only reason why I'm saying this, and I've took 4 minutes of our time on this particular point, is MLS's elevation going to make it less likely that these guys are going to leave if it's not for a top 5
I see
league?
what you're saying. Okay.
yes. Listen, I had a discussion with a guy I know, bar owner, big MLS, big Premier League fan, and he's one of those guys that's always a little negative about everything. Because man, I just hope our league stops being a selling league. I go, what are you talking about? This is the dream that we're selling. This legitimizes MLS, that we have so many kids that are going at 18 to 21 right to the Premier League, right to Bundesliga, right to La Liga, like Serie A, like that just put a stamp on this league that we're growing. This academy works. The rest of the world's paying attention, and we're probably now going to get guys that for their not their last contract, not their retirement, but their last big money contract, be like, you know what? I want to come to America now. Like Suarez is thinking about coming over to MLS. Suarez can still play. It's not like he's at that David Beckham part in his career. He probably has 2 more contracts in him. So we're getting people that are like, oh, and we're getting younger guys from Europe that might be in the Champions League that are like, well, here's my option. I can go Champions League or Bundesliga B, or I can go to MLS.
I mean, the championship.
Championship they have.
Because if they're in the Champions League, they ain't coming over here.
Yeah, that's right. Championship. Sorry. But they're going to come to MLS. So I think developing is, and that gap between us, and put it this way, I think if you owned a Liga MX team and you had the opportunity to trade straight up for an MLS team, you would do it as an owner.
I agree.
Look, go ahead, Devin. Go ahead.
I think that the net value of a Liga MX team is consistently going to just drop over the next 5 to 10 years, whereas
or even just plateau.
I mean, I don't think there's as much growth potential in Liga MX as there is in MLS.
Yeah,
look, you're like Club America is going to be great for forever, but if they're going to play in Stadio Azteca for 9 million years, that's going to depreciate the value eventually, no matter how great you view Stadio Azteca. Like it's one of these things where the way that MLS is coming in through is like a hurricane right now. And shout out to St. Louis, because they're doing it the absolute correct way. Their stadium is going to be built before they even get there. So it's not a season sharing a football stadium. It's not 3 years in the Georgia Tech Stadium like Atlanta did. It's not infinitely in Yankee Stadium. They got the training facility. They got the manager a year and a half ahead of time. They got the stadium going to be built by the time they want to open this thing. And no disrespect to any team where it took a little bit longer, but that's how MLS franchises. But that's how MLS's franchises should be coming in from now on. And I'm not sure how many more we're going to add. Garber says we're only going to go to 30 or whatever. He's probably lying, but whatever. Ultimately, where MLS is now versus where it was 15 years ago is night and bleeping day. And if that trajectory continues, you're going to see less and less of these guys deciding, I'm going to go to League 2, or I'm going to go to Bundesliga 2, or I'm going to go to a muddling, team that's fighting for promotion, because A, my money is guaranteed in MLS in a way that it's not guaranteed in other leagues across the globe, and B, America is still a very desirable place to exist in. Despite all of our flaws and all of this, a lot of people want to come to this country to live, to exist in it, to be in it. The biggest thing that's going to change is if MLS can start offering the same level of money as a person who's in the championship, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They're coming here.
Yeah.
They're going to live in Miami. Like, what do you mean? They're going to come here to live in Miami, Los Angeles, not to live in Wrexham. That's going to be the difference.
Yeah, and it's a good transition because we're going to get into MLS news, and the new contract for TV is coming up. You're going to see, and the MLS is going to be at that forefront of ESPN, Fox, streaming, YouTube TV, whatever, and the demographic for the MLS fits that better than the NFL trying to jam and force a show on Facebook or force Thursday night football on, YouTube or whatever they've been trying to do, where the MLS is ripe for that kind of development with that media. And I think they're going to exploit it. And I think that's where the money comes in. I mean, let's face it, in sports, if you get a great media contract, that paves the way. That's the golden road. So I think you're going to see that. And speaking of, a team that I always felt bad for the fans, Salt Lake has got new owners.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to joke like, hey, are they Crystal Palace 2 or Devils 2 or are they the Delaware Bluecoats? But they got two legitimate business owners. The one owner owns the Utah Jazz, and the owner is Blitzer, who owns the Sixers, Crystal Palace, a Bundesliga team, a team in Belgium. I mean, they just got, I'm not saying they hit the lottery with owners, but that is one of the best transitions from the racist ass cheap owner that they had to what they have now. I mean,
and I'll put some icing on that cake for you, Matt, with a little bit of breaking news. At least at the time of recording here, Dwayne Wade is part of this ownership group as well. So there you go.
Me? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Are we?
Durant can still dunk on him. It's okay. We still win in ownership. Don't worry. We got you, Kevin. We got you.
First off, shout out to all of these sports owners coming out here like Thanos collecting stones on their fucking infinity gauntlets. I just got a soccer team with my hockey team and my basketball team, and I'm out here about to get they're going to invest in the Philadelphia Stars, and then someone's going to get a lacrosse team, and then Tucker Robertson's going to come with the Fusion. There you go. I love it, and I hate it at the same time. There was a time where your owner just owned one team. And that was it. There was a time where Jeffrey Morey just owned the Eagles. And that was it. The Buss family just owns the Lakers. I look at a guy like Josh Harris and I'm just like, so if the Sixers are in the NBA Finals and the Devils are in the Stanley Cup Finals, where are you at?
Helicopter. Both.
Oh God, is he doing the Deion Sanders touching both of them? 7 o'clock starts each night. Where you going? Who are you picking?
Which one's at home?
Both. One's in Newark.
Then he's going to Newark because he owns that building.
Boom! This is what I'm saying. This is, I love it because A, someone needed to save the Utah franchise. And here's the thing. I also love it because it shows you what we were talking about earlier. People want to invest in Major League Soccer because there is money to be had in Major League Soccer. Despite all of these people saying, what the hell's going on? All these people being like, what's going on in Chester? I have no idea. And I'm saying people are making money in this league. The players, only a handful of them really, but the rest of them the ownerships are cut in checks that 10 years ago, they were not cutting.
Well, I don't want to say they're cutting checks because it's still an investment, but their investment is safe. It's like I said, the analogy, they bought a house that was like, and now it's in a really good neighborhood. And when they sell that house, they're going to make the money then.
When was a time in MLS prior to 5 years ago when anyone was being brought over here on a $6 million transfer?
David Beckham.
And he literally saved the entire league to the point where they were selling LA Galaxy jerseys at the Models in the King of Prussia Mall with Beckham on the back of it. That's how big of an icon that man was.
I'm just saying, the growth is there. The investment is there.
Well, I want to throw one more thing into this because this surprised the hell out of me, and I didn't see it on the notes yet. The Toronto FC news that happened over the past week or so. I mean,
Viva Italia. Because they were just like, we're tired. We were bad for 2 years. We never want to have that happen again. So let's get another tiny Italian to save us.
I mean, it's just, it just keeps adding on to that growth you're talking about.
No, it is. So I mean, I'm excited for this season. Now we gotta do a little MLS news on a down note, and all I'm gonna say is, if he frickin' scores, we will riot, and it will not be in a good way. But Mr. Unoriginal, Mr. Same haircut for 20 years, Mr. He copies off of you at every test, Chris Albright steals Ray Gaddis out of retirement, just tearing off another playbook. How many former Union players are on that Cincinnati team? I looked at a list. Is Harris back? Did he re-sign Harris?
Do we want to start at the beginning with like Corbin Bone and Antoine Hopino, or do we just want to let it ride all the way to... Was Lahoud on Cincinnati for a half a second too?
Lahoud was on... I'm telling you, if the Union, say we are a snake that sheds our skin,
Union West.
If we shed our skin, Cincinnati slides right into that old skin, man.
This is weird. I get it, but what's fun for me here is watching Chris Albright basically play his job as a GM the same way I play my job as a GM in FIFA. When I get promoted to a bigger squad, but then I realize, you know what? I don't actually have a right back that I can trust. Is there anyone on the Union I can get on a discount from the team that I just managed, and then I can bring them over here? I already know how they play. I already know what their tendencies are, and I don't have to think too hard about this. I don't have to go scouting.
The only thing I'm worried about,
I don't have to go traveling. I can just do. I know this guy. We good.
I want to lock Quinn Sullivan in his room until it's time to play, because cousin Chris is knocking on the door trying to get to Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving and bring him over. So we got to keep Chris Albright away from Quinn Sullivan, because Quinn Sullivan's not going to Cincinnati. He's going to Italia. He's going to, when he decides to leave, he's not going to Cincinnati. All right.
That's also a thing, because I think now the Union can say that, I think the joke we always made was they're eventually going to be the Ajax of MLS. But if they continue to send these players across the globe to, these places like Venezia, these places like, look, he's going to Serie B, but like going to a club right outside of Rome is a pretty big deal for Mr. Fontana. And he is a product of the Union Academy. These are all, a place where it's like when you have a private school and that private school is going to get you to Harvard. It doesn't matter where you are before you went to that school. If you give into the system of that school, you're going to get to Harvard. The Union are becoming that boarding school that is helping these guys achieve their ultimate dreams, because now you have a general manager who is more than willing to go to Europe to not only get people, but to send people. But you also have an academy that is ranked as high as any in North America. Your pedigree is now speaking for itself. And I'm saying in the future, because if you remember the Nathan Harrell interview about why he's in Philadelphia and why he was excited, people are going to choose this system over a lot of other systems. And that's only going to help us moving forward. If I'm Quinn Sullivan, you're probably going to get more money going over to Cincinnati. But is that going to help you in the same way as staying with the Philadelphia Union? Truth be told, they've won 4 games in like 3 years. What is that, Cincinnati's going to have, Cincinnati's got the pocketbook and the wherewithal, but it's going to, and hell, if they turn it around next year, God bless them. But I don't have any confidence on that's going to be anything more than a project, you know?
Yeah. No, and this is actually a good transition because I know we're coming up on time, but let's get into the alumni update. I don't have an alumni update, except the update is we now are going to be talking about Brendan Aronson, Mark McKenzie, Jack DeVries, and Fontana. We got 4 now that we have to talk about, and that's in Europe, not guys that have also gone on to Colorado or something like that. They're the ones that we're going to focus on. We've got 4 guys over in, 4 guys going over there. So it's going to be an interesting season to see, and we know Brendan's making all kinds of news and rumors that, he might be going somewhere. So that's crazy. Now, Devin, I know we're getting up on it, so let's do a very brief, our favorite segment. Let's talk a little Premier League. And Devin, you might like this because, Adam, I got a question for you. With Chelsea's woes, is it our fault? Were we a little too braggadocious about Chelsea?
No.
Okay.
They're still going to win.
Yeah.
They just might not win. They might not win the league, but they're probably going to win the Champions League again because they're still that great. But look, they were down 2-0 to Liverpool and then casually said, "Oh, we're back. Don't worry about it." Well, they still are probably talent-wise, they're probably the most talented team in the Premier League. They just have to get their shit together.
Listen, Tommy handled, his Antonio Brown better than the guy from Tampa Bay did. He sat him down, said, "You're sitting for a bit. We're going to have a little discussion." He's going to apologize. He didn't take his shirt off, didn't walk off the field, didn't go to a Brooklyn Nets game. So, I mean, he did it well. And we did have an ace in the hole. We did have something that cures all when you are on a slide. When you're, Adam, this, if you're a baseball player and you've got the yips and you can't hit anything, maybe you got to go down to AA and string out a couple home runs or a couple doubles. And you know what? The cure for Chelsea's problems was an energy drink tournament against Tottenham. And I think we're good now. I think we got the yips out of us. We just had to face Tottenham, get a little 2-0. And I think you're right. We can start bragging again.
All you ever have to do is play the kids in North London, and then everything will be satisfied for you. By the way, shout out to another former Chelsea manager still unable to beat Chelsea after they leave. That sucks. I feel sorry for them, but that just seems to be a running gag. I used to coach Chelsea, now I coach Tottenham, and I realize that Tottenham's not as good as Chelsea, so I can't win. I don't that's literally. That's all that happens time and time again.
Adam, what's gonna happen
that's
first?
Just the honest to goodness truth at this point.
Does Conte get a new haircut, or will Tottenham win? What will happen first?
Oh my God, Conte's hairpiece is just egregious now because he's no, you're old, dude. There should be some gray somewhere. Klopp has the hat. Klopp and Tuchel did it right. Wear the hat, guys. We don't need to see your the vain Italian Eastern European vibe there of I have to show the whole body with the suit and all that. No, put on a hat and a tracksuit. No one cares anymore.
Listen,
Bruce Arena's that shit.
Tottenham are in 6th. Okay, they're not doing too bad. But also, I'll give you guys a little bit more fuel for your fire here because I just realized this. So Chelsea have played both Brentford and Tottenham since the last time we recorded. Chelsea has beat them both 2-0 in both the fixtures. So there's that.
If anything, shout out to Brentford for only losing 2-0. Shout out to Brentford, because I swear to God to you, it is one of these things where I look at the Premier League standings and I'm like, of course Man City is just continuing to do this thing. And I'm like, if you believe in parity, if you believe in anything that resembles, competitive nature, don't watch the Premier League. It's 4 dudes and then a bunch of other guys. That's the whole league now. And I'm here for West Ham. I secretly root for West Ham.
I'll say it's a hot take compared to the rest of Europe. I don't know. No way. All
right. Okay. It is not
Adam's
as
taking his esports
stone.
promo gig a little too high.
Look, it is not as set in stone as the Bundesliga, for sure. And not as much as
wow.
Yeah, not as much as League One with PSG winning every 5 years. But come on, man. All right. So who were the last, outside of Leicester, what was the last non-Power 6 team to win the league? You're looking it up. That's where we're at, Devin. You have to look it up because you don't know. Because you can't even fathom even Arsenal.
At least it's a top 6, where the other leagues are a top 2 or 3.
It's a top 2, and I don't think there's 2 in Germany.
Yeah.
It's like a 1 and it's like 1 and then a lot of other dudes.
1994-95 Blackburn Rovers.
You're shitting me.
I was the last time a non-top 6 team won other than
Leicester and those are the last 2 non-top 6 Premier League winners. Yeah, no, that's a hot take I had, Devin. Yeah, no, there's parity in the English. Yeah, no, 100%.
At least you got 6 teams, all right.
Devin, speaking of tables, we have to ask you, and I think you leaked it. Who's higher?
Yeah,
who's higher?
Tottenham up at 6th with 2 games in hand right now, so they could hop into some Champions League spots pretty easily. But also,
you get comfy with that Europa motel, my guy.
But also,
dude, Adam, beer of the pod almost came out of my nose when he just said Tottenham was going Championship League.
Champions League. West Ham is your master.
I think he meant champions. Championship.
Like
is that what you meant?
Like the championship.
Look,
look, Arsenal is going to catch you. Arsenal caught you. You let Arsenal catch you. They were terrible.
And Brentford down the 12th and hopefully safely out of relegation at the moment. They're 10 points out. So
I like Brentford. I think they're going to stay up. I'm sad that you might have a St. Tottenham's Day this year. That was an unexpected St. Tottenham's Day.
Well, Devin, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we touched all the bases, and we're going to try to get this under the 60-minute mark. So
you don't want a fusion in it, is what you're saying?
No, we did the MLS fusion, but we will be having updates. Don't worry, we will have a special segment just for you.
Good, because the roster just came out today, so I'm just saying, like, if you need a fusion update,
let's save something for next week so people can tune in. All right, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in to number 87. This is Brett Selleck, Super Bowl champion, and hopefully not the last championship in this city. All right, everyone, thanks a lot, and we will see you next week. Aloha Felicia.
Continue to wash your hands.